There comes a moment in every person's life when the silence becomes unbearable. Not the silence of the room, the silence inside you. The silence that whispers, "You were meant for more than this." You feel it at night when the distractions fade. You feel it when you watch someone else living with fire while you are stuck repeating the same exhausted cycle. Wake up, scroll, doubt yourself, delay your dreams, sleep frustrated, repeat year after year, and the terrifying part, the pattern becomes comfortable. You begin calling your prison normal. But listen carefully, your life is not falling apart because you are weak. It is falling apart because your habits are stronger than your vision. That is the real battle. The title of your future is not written by motivation. It is written by repetition. Every day you repeat the same excuses, you reinforce the same identity. Every time you avoid discomfort, you train your mind to fear growth. Every time you wait for the perfect moment, you quietly surrender your power. And here is the paradox that most people never understand: the life you want is hidden inside the discomfort you keep running from. The confidence you crave, built through uncertainty. The discipline you admire, forged through resistance. The greatness you envy in others, created through patterns nobody applauded while they were building them. You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. Read that again in your soul, because the truth is brutal: your future is already being built by what you repeatedly do today. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. The pattern is either building your freedom or building your cage. And somewhere deep inside, you already know which one it is. You know when you are lying to yourself. You know when you are capable of more. You know when your potential is suffocating under procrastination, distraction, fear, and comfort. The tragedy is not failure. The tragedy is becoming someone who slowly stops believing they can change. Because once a person loses belief in transformation, they begin accepting survival instead of pursuing greatness. But today is different. Because today, you stop negotiating with the habits destroying your future. Today, you realize something powerful: you are not trapped by your circumstances. You are trapped by your patterns. And patterns can be broken, which means limits can be shattered. The moment you change what you repeat, you change who you become. That is where your new life begins, not with motivation, with decision. Your brain is not fixed. That single truth changes everything. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself based on repeated behavior and thought patterns. In simple words, what you repeatedly do becomes who you are. Every action lays another neurological brick. Every repeated behavior strengthens a pathway. Every excuse becomes easier the next time. Every disciplined action becomes more automatic with repetition. Your brain is always adapting. The question is, what are you training it to become? Most people accidentally program themselves for weakness. They rehearse distraction. They practice inconsistency. They condition themselves to quit the moment discomfort appears. And then they wonder why success feels impossible. But winners understand something different. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is neurological conditioning. Every morning you wake up early when you don't feel like it, you are rewiring your identity. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you are strengthening mental control. Every time you finish what you started, you are teaching your brain, "I am someone who follows through." This connects directly to the work of psychologist Carol Dweck and the concept of the growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe abilities are permanent. They avoid failure because failure threatens their identity. But people with a growth mindset see challenge differently. Failure becomes feedback. Struggle becomes training. Discomfort becomes evidence of expansion. That is why some people collapse under pressure while others transform through it. One interprets pain as proof they should stop. The other interprets pain as proof they are evolving. And then there is identity-based habit formation. This may be the most powerful concept of all. Most people focus on, "How could I lose weight? I want money." "Oh, I want confidence." But elite performers focus on identity. They ask, "Who must I become to create those results?" Because behavior that conflicts with identity never lasts. If you still identify as lazy, you will sabotage disciplined actions. If you still identify as weak, you will retreat when life tests you. Transformation begins the moment you stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming?" This is why deep work and flow state matter. In a distracted world, focus has become a superpower. When you enter deep concentration, uninterrupted, intentional focus, your brain enters a flow state where performance, creativity, and learning accelerate dramatically. But flow requires sacrifice. You cannot build an extraordinary life while feeding constant distraction. You cannot become powerful while addicted to comfort. The modern world profits from your lack of focus. Notifications, scrolling, cheap dopamine, constant stimulation, all of it fragments your mind, and a fragmented mind creates a fragmented life. The winners you admire are not superhuman. They simply protect their focus like their future depends on it. Because it does. There is a quote from Marcus Aurelius that should haunt every human being. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Most people hear those words and feel uncomfortable. Good, you should, because time is the one thing you are spending every second, whether you are living intentionally or not. And the greatest pain in life is not exhaustion. It is regret. The regret of becoming older without becoming yourself. The regret of knowing you had gifts buried under fear, dreams buried under hesitation, potential buried under patterns. Imagine standing at the end of your life meeting the person you could have become. The stronger version, the disciplined version, the courageous version, the focused version, and realizing you never became them because comfort mattered more than growth. That pain is heavier than failure could ever be. Viktor Frankl once wrote that suffering without meaning destroys people, but suffering with purpose transforms them. That is the difference. When you suffer for growth, the pain builds you. When you suffer through avoidance, the pain empties you. And make no mistake, avoidance is suffering. Procrastination is suffering. Living beneath your potential is suffering. Watching life pass while you remain unchanged is suffering. Fear convinces you that failure is dangerous, but failure is temporary. Regret lasts decades. The people you admire were not fearless. They simply feared staying the same more than they feared discomfort. That is courage, not the absence of fear, but movement despite it. And this is the brutal truth nobody wants to hear. Your habits are not only shaping your future, they are shaping your character. Every day you break promises to yourself, self-respect erodes. Every day you delay action, confidence weakens. Every day you avoid challenge, your identity shrinks. But the opposite is also true. Every disciplined action rebuilds trust within yourself. Every difficult choice expands your identity. Every moment of resistance strengthens your mind. You are either training weakness or training power. Nothing stays neutral. Now the question becomes, how do you actually break the pattern? Not emotionally, not temporarily, but permanently. First, control your mornings before the world controls your mind. Most people wake up and instantly consume chaos, notifications, messages, noise, comparison. And before the day even begins, their focus is already hijacked. Instead, create a morning ritual of intentional dominance. Wake up and move your body immediately. Train before excuses. Wake up, expose yourself to discomfort early. Cold water, exercise, silence, journaling, reading.
Why?
Because your first actions teach your brain what identity you belong to. A powerful morning creates psychological momentum. Second, build execution systems, not emotional goals. Motivation is unreliable. Systems are I will work hard. Define exact execution cycles, specific hours, specific targets, specific behaviors. For example, 90 minutes of deep work, no phone. One objective, full focus. Small repeated victories create unstoppable momentum. Third, redefine your relationship with failure. Most people think failure means I'm not good enough. No, failure means you are in the process of learning. Every champion failed publicly before succeeding privately. The difference is they refuse to make failure personal. They use it as data, detach emotion from setbacks, analyze, adjust, continue. That is resilience. Fourth, master energy management. Your focus is biological. Sleep matters, nutrition matters, recovery matters. Burnout is not proof of dedication, it is proof of imbalance. Elite performance requires cycles of intensity and recovery. Protect your energy from toxic environments, draining people, and meaningless distractions. Because your attention is your life force. Where attention goes, identity follows. Fifth, develop emotional control under pressure. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. Your real identity appears during stress. When things go wrong, do not collapse emotionally. Pause, breathe. Respond intentionally. Train yourself to become stable inside chaos, because emotional mastery creates decision mastery, and your decisions create your destiny. 6. Build an unshakable self-concept. This is everything. You must stop speaking to yourself like someone defeated. Your inner dialogue becomes your internal reality. If you constantly say, I'm lazy, I'm broken, I can't change, your brain obeys those commands. Replace them with identity declarations. I do hard things. I finish what I start. I am becoming disciplined. I move even when I don't feel ready. Identity is constructed through repetition. Not one giant moment, daily proof, tiny victories stacked consistently. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Not through magic, through standards. And understand this deeply, confidence is not built before action. Confidence is built because of action. You do not wait to feel powerful. You act powerfully until your identity catches up. That is the shift. That is how patterns break. So here you are, at the edge of a decision that could change your entire life. Not because everything will magically become easy, but because today you finally understand the truth. Your future is hidden inside your daily choices. Every habit is casting a vote for the person you become. And right now you have two options. Continue repeating the same cycles or break the pattern and build someone stronger. Start with an identity declaration. Write it down. From this day forward, I am no longer a person controlled by comfort, fear, or distraction. I am building discipline, focus, and resilience every single day. Read it every morning. Then commit to a 30-day challenge, 30 days of intentional action, 30 days of keeping promises to yourself, 30 days of choosing growth over comfort, not perfection. Relentlessness, track your habits, protect your focus, remove distractions, execute even when motivation disappears, especially when motivation disappears, and create accountability anchoring. Tell someone your commitment. Find people who sharpen your standards instead of lowering them. Environment matters. Because weak environments create weak habits, strong environments create stronger identities. Remember this quote, the goal is not to be perfect, but to be relentless. That is the mindset, not flawless, not fearless, relentless. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you are beginning to realize something powerful. You are not stuck. You are conditioned. And conditioning can change. The patterns that built your limits can also build your freedom. One disciplined day at a time, one hard choice at a time, one repeated action at a time. Your transformation will not happen overnight, but neither did your current reality. Everything compounds, every action, every excuse, every disciplined choice. The question is, what will you compound starting today? Because years from now, you will either thank yourself for beginning or hate yourself for waiting. This is your moment. Not next Monday, not next year. Now break the pattern, break the limits, and become the person your future is begging you to become. If this message lit a fire inside you, share it with someone who needs this reminder and subscribe for more videos designed to sharpen your mindset, strengthen your discipline, and awaken the strongest version of who you truly are.